Welcome back to Slightly Average Guys, the most unique, awesome, one and only podcast that you will find anywhere. If you don't believe me, just search it. Anywhere podcast. We are the Shrine of the Silver. Oh, wait, sorry. That's a different show. This is the Slightly Average Guys. Thank you for joining us at the Hidden Temple. We got Andy below us. We got Ryan Teeter beside us. We're all back. You got the left, right, the up, the middle, the down. We're all here for you. How are you guys doing? Ryan, I'm coming to you first.
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Don't bring me that energy. Bring it up.
I'm solid. I
There
am
you
really
go.
solid, dude, because I'm getting a new job here very soon, August 1st. Everyone else that I'm leaving on like my other side that I'm leaving, it's like freaking out. And I'm all like, screw you guys. This is great for me. Like I get to travel a little bit more, get out of this dungeon that you see behind me. I call it my jail cell, and start traveling more, start talking to customers more, and just start having more fun and making more money. So I'm good. I'm solid. Can't wait to start that August 1st.
Are you leaving the company? You changing companies? What's the story there?
Yeah, that's a good question. I am staying with the same company, but just making a different role from a product position straight up into a sales position.
Nice. So you're gonna go make the big bucks, is what you're trying to say?
Yeah, that's the point. To get out of what I'm doing and start making more money, because I can do it damn better than any of those other sales guys.
I mean,
and women.
Oh yeah, that's every time I hear from anybody, it's always the sales guys that make the most. And I'm like, oh man, I really wish I was good at sales, but I am not. Andy, what about you? Are you still living in your grandma's basement or something now? Like you're doing a different background. Like what's happened?
Yeah, I've upgraded to the basement, just hanging out. Listen, it's hot as you know what outside, so it's cooler down here, and my daughters don't wake up until like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's really nice and quiet all the time down here.
Jealous of the cold. Like we talked about it a little bit before. I am so hot. I'm ridiculously hot.
Well, before the show, everybody, we were talking about different problems we're currently going through and everything, and Ryan's talking about how his AC's not working too great. He says he keeps it at 78. For those that don't live in Arizona right now, it's like 112. And he's like, yes, we can't keep it to 78. My office right now is 79, and that's rare for it to be this low, mostly because I wasn't working here today. It's normally 82 degrees in my office.
Yeah, you got all those machines running. You got, there's a lot going on. The door's probably shut.
Yeah, this wall right here is the outside wall that gets hit in the east. So it gets burnt up by the sun. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. People didn't come to hear about what we were doing in our room temperatures wise. They came here to hear interesting topics. And one of those interesting topics is what makes you a bad person? I want to hear from you, Ryan, because I feel like you have something, a story or a reason, because you made mention earlier, like people that don't return shopping carts. And I don't know if you mean the homeless people that don't return shopping carts or
those assholes,
or just simply, the person that was riding the hover round that probably shouldn't have been riding a hover round.
First of all, that's hilarious. Why don't they go after those homeless people in those shopping carts? One, well, I guess the city of Phoenix is already trying to do that a little bit, but anyways, dude, like I see it everywhere. It's just the little stuff that makes you potentially a bad person, right? Not that I'm saying you are a bad person for doing those things, but I am. If you don't return your damn shopping cart, I literally call people out on it. If I physically see them get into their car and I see that they didn't put their cart there, I will yell across like the little road. I say, "Are you going to put your cart away?" And they say, "No, I wasn't planning on it." I did that at Costco one time, and the guy's wife was literally had to intervene and say, "Honey, put your cart away." And I was like, "You're damn fucking right." Success.
Right. Now I have a stipulation here because I'm a guy that usually always puts it back.
Yeah.
And then there's those moments where you were shopping someplace and it's like there's literally no cart corral in the 2 full aisleways that I'm here. Or the next one, it's like all the way at the front by the store. I'm like, well, am I the asshole here? Because there's nowhere to put this in like 3 football fields.
It's still your fault because you need to park near them.
It just I don't look for one when I pull in. It's just
Yeah,
like
true. Neither do I. I just always put it away because what's a couple more steps on your watch?
That's true. That's true. Yeah. The recently it's actually been the new Fries that's over here close to me is really easy because like they're really good about having a spot every single place, and they bolted them finally to the ground so they don't like just suddenly one day
They
become
don't
missing.
bolt those things?
Not all of them.
What?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. Not. Yeah. You go to some of them and it's like, hey, this thing is like 4 rows over. Like somebody tried to make an encampment out of it 2 nights ago.
Oh, geez. Yeah, I had no clue about that. But yeah, and if anything, I'll ask somebody and I'll just be like, hey, do you want a cart?
Yeah.
And they'll be, they're going into Fries. They need a cart, most likely. Hey, do you want a cart? We'll just take this in. Or if
now-
I'm going in and I see a cart that hasn't been taken away, because dude, it's just me. It's just my luck constantly. I will always, when it's packed, you can't see if there's a motorcycle in the parking spot, like you can't see that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's
Uh-huh.
another, are you a bad guy if you park a motorcycle all the way into the parking spot? That's a pretty dick move. So anyways, you pull into a parking spot. I'm that guy who hits the person that didn't put the cart away in that parking spot. If I had any other car besides my Beamer, I'd ram the fuck out of that thing. But I don't.
Oh,
So
There's
I'm
so
not
many
gonna do
times
that.
where I wish we lived, it was a different country where like somebody's not stepping on the gas fast enough. It's like literally the speed limit is 60. Why are we driving 40? You just want to bump them and just like start pushing. Yeah, I would love to do that type of thing. But Andy, what do you think makes a terrible person?
well, I'm glad that my wife doesn't listen to this or watch,
Okay.
but I'm gonna steal something from probably some other topic you're gonna talk about, but just like her usage of condiments on the wrong foods in general. So, for example, she put ketchup, mustard, and mayonnaise on steak,
What?
like cut up steak bits, and I was like, I just looked at her with like the most disgust, confusion, and I was about to divorce her right then. And I was like, it was terrible. So if you don't use condiments properly, I think you're a terrible person.
Throw her in hell.
Yeah. I mean,
Get out of here.
like ketchup, okay, right? Because you could say A1
Yeah.
sauce is along the same
Sure.
line. Like as soon as you threw relish in it, like I was just like off,
Or
It's-
mustard too.
But then you threw mayo, like this. You're not.
You're a
Or was it
psychopath.
on a sandwich, or was it just like, hey, it's a plate of
No.
cut up steak?
No, it was just cut up steak because I had pre-cooked a bunch of food and like there were all these New York strip steaks and I just cut them into chunks. And she cooked one, cut it up into little squares, and just destroyed it.
You're like, who hurt you? What
You're a
happened
psychopath.
in your
That's
past
a great
days?
question.
Right?
Yeah.
Because like
You're-
that's some terrible stuff, right? Like I'm gonna make a statement here that's full circle back to Ryan's piece about a new job. Most people don't well, I don't think we've done one recent enough for know that I have changed jobs / clients because I have my own business. Changed my primary client from one to the next, and like going through that contractual process of signing all of this legal stuff and everything. What makes you a terrible person? Attorneys. Just being an attorney.
You're
Right?
terrible.
I
Even
literally
if it's for the good.
I had to
You're
literally
terrible.
ask them. It's funny because the who hurt you thing about Michelle, right? Like I literally asked them that question. I was like, who hurt you? Because this like agreements are usually decently one-sided, right? But they're still like, hey, yeah, we know what you're doing. Like I had to like go through something back and forth about, signing something, and I was just like, man, this thing's so ironclad. I've never seen a contract that's like this. Anyway, so
Yeah.
attorneys, yeah, just being an attorney, right? Mhm.
Also, picking up poop. Like if you don't pick up your dog's poop, but
Mm.
yeah,
Oh, your
let's talk
dog.
about dog poop.
I thought you meant your poop. I was like,
just
wait,
out
are you one of
I
those?
I should have clarified.
Yes, thank
I
you.
should have clarified. Now, okay, we've all done it, right? We've all not picked up dog poop.
Okay. Again, I thought we were back to picking up human poop again. No.
We've all left dog poop in a spot that we shouldn't have left dog poop because you just didn't have a bag. What are you going to do? Stomp it with your foot and just smooth it out with the grass? No, you're not going to pick it up with your hand either.
Yeah.
So you just leave it.
Happened on Lookout Mountain with Gabby one time. We were hiking up the mountain and everything. She just takes a huge dump while she's still walking. She doesn't stop and squat. She just does it while she's walking. And we thankfully had one of those. It was the busy area and there were people behind us. So we had one of those collapsible water dishes. So I took that, flung the thing like off the trail at least, and then proceeded to throw the collapsible thing in the trash after I got down.
Yeah, and Nate has a good comment. If you're on a trail, you can certainly cover it with a rock and stuff like that. But Nate, I was at Cactus Park, and this is just like, this is just a park. It's a bunch of grass. It was nighttime, so I felt comfortable leaving it there, and nobody was around. But if you generally do not pick up dog poop in the middle of a day at a busy park, throw her in hell.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm like, there's those times where you just didn't have something or whatever else, but like parks even have the little stations to where it's like, hey, right,
no excuse.
Like, I've been there before where like I've done something and it's like, oh, I totally forgot, and then I'm like, oh, it's one of those stations, so like I'll walk away from it, go grab the thing, and come back and pick it up. Yeah, I would agree. Now, we've had this conversation before about does it make you a terrible person if you don't put the little divider thing in the grocery line? Like nobody really knows.
That's
like
just controversial. Like whose job is it?
Yeah. Like what if there's nobody behind you and you just put it? Do you assume somebody's got to come up behind you? Like I don't. Anyway, right? And then the other question is how close to the one in front of you do you get? Because I jam that bitch full as you possibly.
Yeah.
can.
What's courtesy? Yeah. Like if there's towers of like bottles and beer cans and stuff, and that little divider is just like crammed in between the next person's. If I was a person, I'd just be like looking over that and just be like swiping everybody's food together.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, since we went down the topic of condiments anyway, is there a wrong condiment or a hot dog? Ryan, you seem to have something that you've enlightened me on that I did not know was a thing.
This has been a thing, and Andy, kind of started out by saying this may be a topic, and yeah, absolutely, because what Andy just discussed with his wife, I would rather have a well done steak.
Yeah.
than to do that. Like Nate said, that's worse than cooking a well done steak. And
terrible.
With a hot dog now, and before I even started seeing this on the internet, I'd have a hot dog, and sometimes I feel like just putting ketchup on it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm excited to eat this. This is great. And then sometimes I'll put ketchup and mustard on it. And that's fine. It's all great. But apparently just putting ketchup on it is insane. It's like you shouldn't do it. The whole internet is like having a debate over this right now on whether like putting just ketchup is okay with this. And especially with Memorial Day, how like, the Nathan's hot dog eating competition and stuff like that. It was like, what condiments do you put on certain things? And ketchup was not one of them that you should put on a hot dog. It was super weird.
4th of July.
What did I say?
Memorial Day.
Oh yeah, sorry. 4th of July.
Get your holidays correct. How dare you?
How un-American of you.
Jeez.
Yeah. So anyways, is it okay to... I don't even give a shit if it's okay. I'm going to put ketchup on my hot dog anyways.
Yeah, I don't feel like that's weird.
Call me a serial
I don't
killer.
either.
But I'm going to do it anyways.
Like ketchup and mustard are the staples for hot dog and hamburgers. So I like
the staple. It's
like,
on the package.
I get that people don't like ketchup or don't like mustard. It's like, okay, but I don't find it odd at all. That's why when you told me, I was like, I've never heard that. Apparently, I am down a completely different TikTok for you page than what you have, because
you can make anything a debate, right? So this is the debate right now.
A debate.
What do you guys put on hot dogs?
Ketchup.
If I'm getting it from someplace, I want it like perfect would be not a runny chili, but a chili with mustard and onions. Like that's a
Okay.
classic Coney dog for me, which
Okay.
was almost nobody does it right. Okay. But like if it's just me at my house, ketchup, mustard, done.
Yeah.
I
I'll do
can
the.
see. Oh yeah, sorry, Andy. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I like the chili dogs. Those are good. Portillo's definitely a yum. Ketchup, mustard, and relish. I mean, for God's sakes, when you buy the package at Costco of the 3 of them, I'm pretty sure it even has a hot dog on it. So that's
Yeah,
what it's for.
yeah, absolutely. And like cheese too, or is that, are
Sure.
those the Coney things that you were talking about, or is that chili?
I said chili. I
Oh.
personally, there's a lot
Like
of people that
chili,
love chili
cheese.
cheese conies. That's just not
Yeah.
me. But like, I don't find that don't find it weird. It's just not
Yeah.
me.
Weird.
Like they make hot dogs right now with cheese already in them. Cheddar cheese hot dogs, like it's
Yeah.
is a thing.
Yeah,
And not that
if you
anybody's calling
overcook it,
out.
it's straight napalm.
Is it?
Yes, yes. Like you have to let those bitches cool, or else you're losing an upper lip and maybe a nostril.
Yeah, and that is one thing from one of my buddies. He calls me out for putting just ketchup on a hot dog, and then additionally too, I put ketchup on like a ham and turkey sandwich as well. Is that normal? I feel like that's
No.
pretty normal.
That's not normal, but I have heard of it before.
Like a ham and cheese sandwich, ham and turkey sandwich. You know, maybe it's got a little mayo on there. I don't know, but maybe a little bit of ketchup too. That's what I do.
So, the question I have for you is when you normally eat hot dogs, how many do you normally eat?
So
At
I'm a
once.
burger guy. I know that doesn't answer your question, but if I had to, yeah, no, I'm not getting 76, or he had 62 this year, I think.
Yeah, I know.
64.
Yeah, this was like last year or something like that. But like the hot Nathan's hot dog winner for the people that aren't watching this
Well,
on
look at
video,
his mouth.
76. I mean, I feel like she's a little low because she likes wieners. But
You can fit the Ocean Gate submarine in that bitch.
Oh wow.
too soon, man.
Yeah.
Too soon.
Sorry.
Too soon. I mean, they got the full Titanic experience.
Too soon. But I that was a good one.
This live stream, that's great.
Mm.
Great.
That was
Great.
awesome. But I
mean,
am a burger guy. But when I eat hot dogs, if I would, I'll eat like for 2 to 4, I would say.
well, what? Do you eat any fish sandwiches? No.
I don't know a fish taco.
Well, you may get a new fish taco and you won't even know it that it's an Ocean Gate special.
Oh boy.
Did you were ready for that one, weren't you?
No, I've got a whole bunch that I've read over the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
But if you could put a max number, just last question, I guess. If you could put a number on how many hot dogs you could eat in 24 hours, how many do you think you could eat?
well, as
We're talking Nathan's Franks with a bun.
okay. Oh, with a bun?
Absolutely. Just
Oh,
like the
damn.
competition, but now you have 24 hours instead of
Oh
10
man,
minutes.
well, you threw me there because I was about to. One of the people that we've had on this show, Sam, who was back talking about how he fell down the stairs and pooped his pants, right? Like that guy.
Well, I
Who's
forgot
probably
about that.
happy I just mentioned it again.
That's great.
Right. There was I think I was 19. We were at his parents' house for New Year's and they were allowing us to drink. They just took all our keys and everything, did it responsibly. And I was like hammer and apple pucker and something else. Anyway, I came inside and I was so hungry. I just started eating these hot dogs like just like Nathan's, thing.
Wow.
And I swear I had like 15 of them bitches in like a 30-minute span. And I barfed all over his sister's room that I was staying in, and like the exorcism everywhere. And there was hot dog chunks falling out of the sewing machine years later. And so I'm going to say 20 would probably be my max over a 24-hour period.
Andy?
Because I have a worry. I'm approaching 40. I have a worry about how bad my colon would interact, less about it coming back out the top.
I'd say probably between somewhere in their range of no more than 20. I think I could do that.
And so let's say I start at like 5 or 4 in the morning. Let's just say that. I'm gonna have a breakfast. I'm gonna probably eat I'm gonna push myself, right? I'm not just eating just to eat. I'm eating to eat as many hot dogs as I can in 24 hours. And I'm not staying up for 24 hours, by the way. So let's just call it like maybe 18. I'll probably eat maybe 8, maybe 9. And then a little break, maybe another 3. Maybe get to lunchtime, have another 5. So what is that? 16, I think. Maybe have a little bit more, just call it another 3. Yeah, I mean, you add this up and you're probably pushing 20. That's
Yeah.
just
I think it's
thinking
doable.
you might be able to push yourself a little bit further, but eating 8 hot dogs, holy cow.
Yeah.
In one sitting with a bun. Nathan's hot dogs.
Yeah.
Mm.
And as Nate in the chat can probably contest, they're a little thin, but they're long. So you never know if that actually goes into anything or not.
Do they have to chew those, or can they just whole one, just
Well, here's the question. They dip them, right? So they dip them in water, they're allowed, water and everything else.
yeah.
Sam, again, one of his brilliant ideas was, coming up with a line of different word for condiments. I started off the last podcast with a saying the left and the right and about what I normally do, and I got a community guidelines violation, so I have to make sure I word this in a way so we don't get a second community guidelines violation.
Interesting.
So you would dip it, and it's a condiment, and you would eat it. So for food eating contests, and he wanted to call it throat lube, and it's a really instead of being thick, like ketchup and mustard is, you would water it down to consistency, but it would have a flavor to it, and then that would be a thing.
Yeah, interesting.
And I'm probably immediately just got banned from Facebook for the rest of my life. All right.
Oh no.
Moving on. We've been on this one far too long.
It's a good topic.
All right. Hot takes here. Hot takes. Andy, what
Yep.
type of wallet do you have? Don't say an empty one, because I think we all three are in that same boat.
I have this little card holder.
Okay.
It's by Herschel and Co. or something like that.
Okay.
And
right.
it's just
Perfect.
just a card holder.
Perfect.
Cloth.
Do you keep any money? You get paper
I
money.
rarely keep cash with me.
Ooh, rare cash, person, Ryan. So we're having debate about the right way and the wrong way to fold said money. Okay. Or when you do keep money, are you a folder that folds in half? To where she asked for 6 inches and you had to give it to her twice? Or are you somebody that tri-folds your money, or would it be 4? Is it 4? It would be 4 times. You would fold it over 4, half, and then half again, and then jam it in there. Sounds like a stupid topic, but
just once, just in half.
You just give it to her once. Okay, Ryan, how about you?
Once.
There's only one way to do it. You fold it in half once.
That's it.
See, that's the same way I got. Now, Ryan recently got a wallet close to the thing that you are talking about. His is a little bit fancier because you flick it up and it's like, it's pretty cool. Yeah. Ooh, look at that. Hey, I also like how your wife damn near exposed your credit card number on a Instagram reel. I was trying to figure out, can I go slow enough to read the card back to you? You paid with something and she was taking a picture of it and you flicked it out.
Trader
really fast.
Joe's.
Yeah, and it was almost fast enough. Anyway, nobody go and look and see if that's possible.
I'll just cancel it anyways. It's not that big of a deal.
Oopsies.
Now you're telling somebody what to buy and be like, all right, then I'll dispute it. Cut me in for half. yeah, so he's got this really cool thing as you flick and the cards come out, which I'm thinking about getting one, except and then I looked, it's like this thing's like $90 damn. It's absolutely ridiculous.
It's kind of stupid, but it's fucking sweet.
Yeah, so now I want one real bad. The difference is though is I carry around cash often. Like I usually I'm not going to say the number, right? I usually carry a couple of dollars on me. There's usually at least 3 paper bills of any number in with me, like, you know, like 2 ones and a 20. There we go. Actually, I had $27 in my pocket today. So I usually carry around something like that. The downside is like as soon as you pay for something with cash, then you get all of these extra ones back, and then they definitely don't fit.
Yeah.
So
You just gotta go to the strip club more.
I know. You know,
Fair.
it's hard out here with a 4-year-old. You know,
Just take him with you.
He just wants the dollar bills, huh? You know.
No, but
lunch.
I do believe though that, you know, there's a proper way to fold money. And it's really annoying because this wallet, and I'll just grab one of my bills here. I used to carry cash all the time, like constantly. I was just telling Andy earlier, it'd be like a minimum of like 40, right? But you know, especially with this wedding that just happened, like I had $200 that was just there, you know.
Yeah. It
But
just happens.
yeah, it just happens. It piles up, right? And in any other wallet, like you can carry cash, no problem. But with this wallet, it comes with a money clip. But as you can see, like the clip is, or the whole wallet itself is thinner, not like thin, like how thin money is, but widthwise, it is widthwise smaller than the width of money, which is super annoying. But this thing comes with a money clip, and I took it off, so I don't have it on it now. But it's in all the images online, it has you quad or trifold your money. So fold it in half and then fold it in half again. So you'd have 3 lines, but you kind of like you half it and half it.
4 pieces.
4 pieces.
Yeah.
And it's like, what idiot folds their money? Like if I get handed a bill, like if you hand me cash with it folded in half once, no big deal. Like, cool, man, appreciate it. If you hand me money that's folded in half again, which one of my friends does, I just look at him like this, and I'm just like, what did you just give me?
You're a psychopath.
He likes to tip people like that because it seems like you got more money.
What's
I'm
your
giving you
end
60.
goal here? And if
Origami.
you do that, you can't even hold as many bills because it's like
I know.
folding
Yeah,
a piece of paper a million times. Like it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, that's my problem. You know, just doesn't have it. Anyway, this is a boring topic, I think. Let's move on because if we don't have any money, then there's just no problem, right? And
That's
soon
true.
enough, we'll be all be giving out digital pesos anyway, so it doesn't really even matter. All right. Speaking of care for your things, there is something recently that's been happening that deals with children. And what I mean by that isn't anything negative. It is because I have a 4-year-old, I'm paying attention to things. You know, the way Ryan put it is, why do we care about the products that are in kids' things so much and not the products that are in adults' things? And the example that you gave was what, Ryan?
It was like soap, like hair products, bathing products, every product. And I don't have my own kid, but I saw it from like your stuff.
Oh, you got somebody
Right.
else's kid. Got it. Okay.
Was like, oh, I don't even know what to call it. Like soap free.
Yeah, tear free. It's tear free soap. Yeah, it's like
tear free soap that
doesn't
doesn't
burn
hurt
your
your eyes.
yeah, it doesn't hurt your eyes. He's like, you get to adult things, it's like we don't give a
We don't care.
Yeah, like why are you? That it is so dumb. I don't even have words for it because of how that is in the world. As soon as you turn not a baby, it's just like you cry all you want. Get that shampoo in your eyes. I
Yeah.
don't care.
We
Taste
don't
it.
care.
Doesn't
Yeah.
taste like blueberries anymore.
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah. Now call the poison hotline, emergency. Get one of the eye wash stations. Which, by the
Yeah.
way, again, we have talked about how things that we learned as children were very overrated. Thing I pointed out was stop, drop, and roll. I thought for sure we would be on fire a lot more. Same thing with eye wash stations.
That is totally true.
I wash spaceships. I thought I would have to be washing my eyes out all the time. Nope, not true.
Yeah, or the showers too. Like,
Yeah,
you
Yeah,
catch
the
on
chemical
fire,
shower.
pull this string.
yeah. You know, and you always wanted to go over and try it. And you're like, last day of school, I'm gonna do that in chemistry class. Yeah, like this is probably a bad idea. I'm not doing that.
Mhm.
It reminds
Right.
me of that Office episode where he's literally doing that commercial. He's like leaving his eyes closed. You guys remember that?
No, I don't remember that
Oh,
one.
that was such a great episode. I
Yeah.
forget if it was Michael. It had to have been
No.
Michael because he was the.
It was
TV on the show.
Andy. No, it
It
was
was-
Andy because
It was Andy.
yeah, he quit to pursue being an actor or something.
That's right.
Really.
That's right. And he's just literally like, no, I need to get this perfect. I need to make it look real, even though it was just like some commercial for it. Wasn't even like a movie. So yeah, those are totally overrated.
Yeah. So like why do we care so much about kids products versus not? Like I've been paying attention to how much dye is in things,
Mhm.
and I went and like this Olay body wash soap that my wife likes that we just use. I'm like getting it because it's on sale, and I flip it over. I'm like, why is there red dye number 33, which I don't even know what it is at this point, and like yellow 5. Why is this in my body wash? I'm like, I don't care if that thing comes out looking like Slimer green. I'm like, the soap suds, it could be black. I've used black carbon soap before, and the foam still foams up white. So I like, what is the point? I don't get it. I don't get the world anymore, Andy. Andy, why is there yellow 5 in banana peppers and jars? Why?
I don't know.
Why is there fruit high fructose corn syrup in almost every pickle that you try to buy in a can?
Yeah, I mean, if you ever look up the ingredients in like the poofy Cheetos, it's disgusting.
Oh God,
right?
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
terrible.
When my kids were little, I remember we gave like the little bottle of Tylenol in like the liquid form,
Mhm.
and she was like drunk. She was just acting weird, and come to find out it had red dye in it. So then we started to buy the Tylenol or Benadryl or whatever it was. I think it was Tylenol without it, and it was like $6 more without the red dye.
Yeah.
And we're talking like this was $20 for that tiny little bottle. And this was 10 years ago now, and it's nuts, man. So like anything that we ever did, we tried to keep away. Fruit snacks, those little gummy fruit snacks.
Oh yeah, those are terrible. But
I stopped buying
can't
those
not have them.
immediately. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my number one thing that I need to get rid of, but we still have.
This is
And
just
then-
I just don't get like how this stuff can be legal here and totally completely illegal in other areas, in other
Makes no
countries.
sense.
It's
Yeah.
Doesn't
because
make any sense.
we have more corruption in our country than almost all the other countries combined, right? Man, I need to send you a thing. There's like, of all the food companies and everything else, like there's like three companies that own all of it.
Yeah, free enterprise,
Everything.
right?
Yeah, like they own all of it. And what's funny is like there's only like really 6 true companies in the world that are public, right? That aren't just like mom and pops or whatever else. Because if they're a publicly traded company, most of them are owned by Vanguard or BlackRock. And there's one other one that I can't think of the name of right off the top of my head. Anyway, if you look at all the businesses that aren't owned by them, they're owned by somebody who is also owned by BlackRock and Vanguard and this other group. Like almost every single entity in the world that is public worldwide is owned by six groups of people.
Yeah, insane. But then like back on the child thing, why can't somebody go in and just order a Happy Meal? I don't want an appetizer. Like say you go to a restaurant, there's a kids menu, right? I don't really like want an appetizer because appetizers nowadays are not appetizers. They're like full meals.
Yeah.
Sometimes that you can split between 2 people.
Yeah.
I just
portion
want a
size
half a
really is.
sandwich off of a kid's menu, please. No, sir, you can't do that. Well, why not? Because you're not under the age of 11 or 8 or 10, whatever it is. But isn't the price of the meal proportionate to the size of the meal? Isn't that all it is? It's just relative towards the food that they're making and the quality of it?
Yeah.
Maybe not
Yeah,
quality, but like, steak versus
Yeah.
lasagna or something.
There should still be profit in it, irregardless, right? Like that's the point. Because like if more often than not, right? Like people have like Andy's got 2 kids, right? So if Andy were to just take his 2 daughters in some place and get something off of a kid's menu, if that's a loss leader, then the whole meal's a loss leader because there's only 1 adult meal and 2 kids. So everything should be priced where you're still making money. So yes, the answer is yes, you should be able to, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's insane. And then I did think so we went to, this is kind of funny too. Not really, I don't think anybody would yell at me for it, but we went to Trader Joe's the other day. And I don't know if other grocery stores do this and stuff. They had kid carts, kid push carts.
Yeah, it's just Trader Joe's does that.
I'm gonna
Aldi's too.
I don't ever go to Trader Joe's or like a Aldi's, and if I do, I'm only grabbing like a handful of stuff. That's it. So next time I go there, I'm pushing around a child's cart. 100% guaranteed. I will have Corey Instagram this all over the place, and you will see me pushing around a kid's cart. And I guarantee you, I'll give it like a 60% chance that somebody comes up to me and says, "Sir, that's for kids."
Mhm.
Oh yeah, 60% of the time it works every time.
Yeah.
Right.
So I actually talked to some lady and I was like, "Where did you get that cart?" And she's like, "Oh, they're just out front with the normal carts." And I was like, I almost like I had to go get one, and I'm gonna go to Trader Joe's just to get like an appetizer and
just to do a whole video on it. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, last one for the day, right? We're gonna do a quick one, okay? Asparagus, as we all know, it makes your pee have a certain pungent odor. Okay, Ryan, what happens with that pungent odor when you're peeing?
There is a certain particular, it's a very, very identifiable, I was going to say sound, smell.
Okay, we need to go. You need to go to the doctor immediately.
Oh boy.
There's
Oh,
a
boy.
very identifiable and particular smell that comes out, and everybody knows what it smells like.
Yeah. But what do you do with that smell? Because you said something and I don't agree with it.
You know it's coming. You're eating you look at asparagus being cooked and you're like, all right, I know what I'm getting myself into
It's
tonight.
gonna happen.
It's a thought that goes through everybody's heads, man or woman. And then you eat it and you're like, why do I do this to myself? Yes, asparagus is good, but I know the aftermath. And why do I want to sit there smelling my own pee after I eat this asparagus? It is gross, but you know what you do? It's like kind of weird. Like you're there sitting down or not sitting down, and you're just going. You don't not smell it every single time.
Oh boy.
And when you do smell it, do you give it a couple extra sniffs?
That's the piece. Like I don't give it a couple extra sniffs. No. Like
No.
I sniff it? Yes. Right? Like you hit it with the first one, and for some I don't like. Well, I mean, I've walked in after my wife's used the bathroom before, and I'm like, man, your pee stinks, and then mine stinks even worse. I just feel like mine smells worse than everybody else's when I eat it. Like I don't know, but then Nathan's over here saying better than the aftermath of a bunch of apricots. Does that make you like colon blow? Is that what that is, Nathan? Or I don't know. I don't eat apricots, so I actually couldn't tell you.
I can't relate to
Same.
that either.
I don't know if is that a smell? Is that an action? Is that a euphemism?
Is that a solid or a liquid?
Oh, it's very
Gassy
gassy,
and
smelly.
smelly.
Okay, I got you now. That does make sense. All
But
right.
yeah,
Well,
it's interesting. Interesting to think about because you know
Andy.
you're going to do it yourself.
Andy, do you
Yep.
have anything that you eat that gives off an odd reaction?
I don't think so.
Can you think
Not
of
that-
can you think of a single other thing that you eat that smells like gives a definitely maybe I'm just weird and I just also
Maybe
am
Brussels
super
sprouts.
but,
Maybe
like
would that do it?
if I eat anything with canned chicken, it has a funky smell to it. Like not strong like asparagus, but like I can tell that I've eaten like a canned chicken. I don't know why that is. And also really, really, really good barbecue that's like been smoked for a really long time, like has a funky smell to my pee. Doesn't smell like barbecue. Just, I know. I probably just need to drink more water.
I don't really have that. I try to eat super clean, so I don't.
I know you've been the healthy guy for the last year, and I've went from being healthy to I look like the State Puff Marshmallow Man now. So
Andy, what are you doing? What are you eating?
Meat, just meat, man. Just like
400
I try to-
calories of protein a day or grams.
yeah. So my goal is 250 grams of protein. I typically average like 220 a day. It's so hard to get to that. And then I go to the gym pretty early because I work on East Coast hours. But I'd say so I started in like August 4th of last year. And I go to the particular gym I go to, I can see all the check-ins that I've gone to.
Nice.
So to this point, I have like 120 or so check-ins that I've gone. So I've gone to the gym about 120 times. So once I hit my year, my goal is to then, I want like exactly like 25% more of whatever I did. And then by the third year, I want to go like not every day, but like darn near close to every day, like in the 200s. I just started taking, so like as far as food goes, I just eat like meat. So
Dang.
steak, chicken, I'll throw some rice in there, some vegetables, but like it's just meat. And I have protein that I'll drink too, because like I said, it's really hard to get to that amount by just eating just meat. And I take like a handful of supplements in the morning, like and then some at night. And then I also just started taking I got into peptides recently. So I just started taking one. I'm in week 3 of taking it. So
do you feel better?
Oh my God. Yeah. And I also do B12 injections every week too.
I love B12.
And because I'm 42, I started taking testosterone. So I'm like about a year into that too. Because when I first started, it was like in the 200s. Now it's like almost 9, if not 900. Yeah.
Damn.
So it's nuts, man. Like it was really hard to change, but then like once you change, it's just, I can't believe I ate shit.
Are you trying to lose weight, gain muscle? What's your goal?
Yeah. So all of it. So when I first started, I actually have my little printout. So when I first started, they do this little thing where it scans like your body weight and your muscle mass and all of that. So when I first started, I weighed a lot. And so I don't even like telling people because I don't, if I told you, you probably
should be proud of that though, right?
Proud
of where you are.
What I ended up, so what I started with to what I did the last time, there was a 3-pound difference from what I started in almost like a year. And it's very frustrating. However, in that time span, I lost 5% of my body fat, but I gained 10 pounds of muscle during that entire time. So I haven't even gone through a year yet. So my goal is to like 15 pounds of muscle. So like this last push part of the testosterone or the peptide. So my goal was to lose weight, but then to get strong and just have like lean muscle. So at some point, I have a buddy that I'm doing this with, and he's like, we'll get to 10% body fat. And I was like, there's no chance I'll get that low. Like, there's no way I could ever picture myself being 19 years old again. And like, there's just no way.
It's possible.
It is, but I just don't, it's so taxing and like exhausting to eat and like go to the gym. Dude, I go to the gym at 3:00 in the morning. Like it's rough getting up because there's like, I played softball last night. I got home at 9:00. I went to bed by like 10:30. I get up and do it again. So it's just, I don't know to get to that point, but like the cost of eating properly and doing all this stuff is astronomical. That was probably the biggest eye-opening thing. But yeah, I want to, as I get older, my concern to the clinic that I go to and like my plea to them is these guys are very smart and they have a ton of stuff and they do all this hormone stuff. And they're the guy who he's a nurse practitioner, but the guy looks like Fabio, dude. So it's just stupid. Like he's just stupid. Well, anyways, like my thing to them is like, hey, I'm going to be 50. Like there's no stopping that. I don't want to
there
be
is a
out
stop
of shape.
to it. You
Sure.
croak.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not.
But my thing is like, as I get older, I want to be strong and like in shape. And as my wife, my kids are going to be older and like, it's just going to be us and we want to do stuff. Right. But I don't want to be 60 years old and 70 years old and just be like, okay, well, I'm old, so I can't do anything. I want to be active and like, but I also want to be in shape. And I know, Joe Rogan's a huge advocate of like men lifting weights just in general of like heavy weight. And there's so many benefits to like the mind and the body. And just, all kinds of great things. So just really like focusing on being in that mindset and that state of health and existence is just, it's a lot. Like it's just, but it's been fun and it's been a challenge, and just to see like the changes and stuff. But there's times where I get on the scale and I'm like, I'm going to throw this thing in the garbage because it doesn't change. But you don't realize like the physiological stuff that you do, like I said. Yeah.
The
like,
internal changes.
Me weighing the same amount that I did 10 months ago or 11 months ago is frustrating. But the fact that I put on 10 pounds of muscle is like, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Like
muscle weighs more than fat, right?
A lot.
That's a fact.
Yeah. I mean, in the first, like, I think 90 days that I did this, I gained 5 pounds of muscle, and like the guys at the clinic were like, dude, that's not normal. Like, this whole time they're telling me like, this isn't a normal experience. Most guys like 1 to 2 pounds, 5 pounds or whatever. But, yeah. So just going back to the food though, like I can't even tell you the last time I had like ice cream. I don't eat shit. I have some times where I'll like stray and might have some chips. Like I had some Doritos earlier, but one of the things I learned was the idea of like a cheat day doesn't exist. It's a cheat meal. So like I try to put a cheat meal in the middle of something. Like I started out really well, and then I might've had like, I don't know, I don't even go to fast food anymore, but like something pizza. And then I'll finish the day off like super healthy and clean. But it's just so hard to like, especially when you travel. So like now when I travel, I carry my protein and this and this and this. And like, I almost need a whole suitcase just for all the stuff I'm bringing with me, because even my coffee, like I changed my coffee to this thing called Strong Coffee. It's protein based and yeah, I mean like everything, dude. So like my snacks around the house, I just grab a handful of almonds and like that's it. So
I'm gonna bring this full circle because I think it's super interesting that you're doing this. And I read an article the other day and it was very interesting, and it was all about the arguments or debates on vegetarians versus an all meat diet versus pescatarians versus all these different diets, right? They all, well, you for reasons that could be like, I don't want to kill animals, that's different, but
sure.
Going on these diets, keto, that all of those diets too, right? You're doing these diets for your own reasons, for your own purposes, and everyone's like, no, this diet, no, this diet.
Yeah.
No, they all make you feel better, because what are you eliminating altogether? You're eliminating processed foods.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Do whatever the hell you want. Eliminate the garbage that, again, bringing this full circle to this red dye, to this blue dye, to all this crap that's in your food from the top 3 companies that do this. Stop eating that stuff. And if you can do that and you're doing it, I think it's awesome. Keep doing it. Yeah. I feel like your brain can function better. Your body can function better.
It's
you
amazing.
Don't get tired.
No, it's amazing that what it does to you. Now there's times where like I get tired around 3:00, but I'm up super early. So I just attribute it to that. But part of what these guys preach at this place I go to is like these 4 pillars of health. And it's like mental, sleep, your diet, and all of these things. And the hardest one for a lot of people to do is diet, but they don't realize that the biggest one that has the most effect is sleep. And it's very interesting, and just sort of the science behind a lot of this stuff. And so like for me, those 4 things, I feel like I have I'll give myself like a B or B+ on that, because my sleep was terrible. And doing all of those things and trying to eliminate, the processed foods, the challenge that I have is this thing, right? And so and I'm sure you guys have this on your devices too. So I have screen time, so it'll tell me like how much time. So I try to set a goal every week to be under like a certain number of hours that I spend on the device, and I'll exclude work-related apps because I don't know if that necessarily matters. So like if I leave the room and I'm chatting on there, I answer email, but outside of that, man, just like turning your brain off to allow all of this stuff to really take its full effect has probably been the hardest thing.
Back off the dopamine hits.
It's the hardest thing that I've come to find, because even at the gym, I log all of my stuff in there, but I don't want to be as look at that guy's on his phone. I can't, because I can't stand that. Like, those people at the gym that are texting, I'm not texting. So sometimes I'm like doing this, and then I just want to like show everybody it's not texting. I'm like legitimately doing something positive. So that's been the toughest part of this whole journey is like the technology. Oh, Ryan's gone. And but yeah, the processed foods are terrible. It's so bad.
I know.
But what a difference though from just not just the energy, but just like mentally, you're like, oh, I remember stuff, or oh, like remembering things might not seem like a big deal, but it's like it's small things that you just are like, oh yeah, I remember that, and like you're sharper and you're just quicker. It's crazy.
So last question for you, since you're doing all of this stuff, you know, everywhere you go has mostly processed foods.
Yeah.
Where do you shop?
So mostly I try to buy if we stay on meat, it's just bulk, right? So it's Costco. Costco has these grass-fed burgers that are so like that's a key. So if you're gonna do beef, it's like grass-fed, right? The organic stuff, cool. Bison, I haven't got into that, but that's like super lean and really good for you, like ground turkey. So I try to do that. If I'm going to buy anything else, I try to go to the butcher. I know that they're going to get their stuff from a potentially quality ranch if I can find and trace it back to it. But it's literally just like bulk meat. That's all I try to do. So even if I go out, like if we go out on vacation, it's like, what can I get that doesn't involve like bread or whatever it is? But the other part of this is like, okay, the protein focus, but then all those other macros that come with it, like calories and carbs and fat, trying to eat to those as well, is also hard because so much stuff has so much crap in it and so much fat and like, it's so bad. So yeah, man, it's like any, like Costco, I'll still go to Fry's or like Sam's Club, but it's anything that I can just do that's just straight protein. And I try to hit the calories and then the protein. And I've tried to come at it from a couple different angles. At first it was like, let me just hit the protein, then I'll backfill everything else, because at that point it didn't matter. My goal was my goal. And I was fueling the car with the necessary fuel. But then sometimes to get to that goal, one or more of those other ones could be off. So it's like, all right, well, let me just sort of try to balance them. And some stuff is easier to balance, like steak or ground beef or chicken. But then when you get into some of this other stuff that, like if I go to Olive Garden or to be honest, anywhere that we're going to go to eat, I'm like, where are we going to go that actually has nutritional values that I could look up and see?
Nowhere.
You'd be surprised. There are a lot, but sometimes the places that you think don't. And then you're relying on some sort of social app that exists where somebody found it somewhere and put it in there. And I don't trust that. So unless like Olive Garden or Chick-fil-A's like stamp of approval on their nutritional value, then I don't typically, I'm just like, whatever, I guess this is a cheat meal and I'll just hope. But, but I truly don't really I don't even drink. That's another part too. Like I don't drink beer at all. If I do, it's just alcohol, like liquor, and maybe I'll have a drink. Like
liquor.
One.
I barely know her.
Just one. So it's like a total lifestyle thing, man. So like
good for you. Yeah. That's one thing I need to work on is I've been doing better, but alcohol. I think that's everybody could say that, or a lot of people could say that.
Sure.
Yeah. I need to get back into dieting and stuff because like again, not necessarily dieting, it's just cutting out all the crap. And by picking one of the diets, you cut out all the crap that's there.
Yeah, you really do.
Yeah,
choose
stress
any
of
diet.
Work. Yeah, stress of work. Like I killed it on the keto diet, and we didn't even do it that long.
Yeah, you guys did
religiously, but like I went from 211 to 177.
That's awesome.
Right? Yeah, I'm at 195 right now. Like as I've started to pay attention to what I'm doing, I'm not working out, so that's the biggest piece of it, and I'm not eating the greatest all the time. But like, yeah, totally want to get back into it. But man, going from 200 to 900 on your testosterone.
Listen,
and like as Jack Black would, ask, like, well, like how many rooster push-ups can you do? Since I can't say the other word. I mean,
that has been an interesting change as well, because you're like, I can't like physically go back to 19, but some parts go back to 19, and you're just like Michelle, where are you? It's like Michelle.
Help!
It's
target detected.
It took like probably 60 to 90 days before that happened, and then there's this like it is night and day different. So yeah.
I thought about that thing where the joke is like, let me get out my stud finder, and it's like beep,
Yeah.
beep, 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 beep.
There it is. Yep.
Yep. Mhm.
Oh, that's cool, man. Good.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. What's the name of the place that you're going to? It's down in Tempe, right?
No, it's in Chandler. It's called Vios, something like that. It's a men's health clinic. There's a lot of
I think
different
I've heard of
places
that.
yeah.
That place.
There's a few
Vios,
places in town
Vios.
that do men's health and whatnot. And so like I get my blood drawn on regular occasions and before I got on this peptide. So peptides is a whole interesting world. I got on one that does 3 things. So it's like this HGH type of thing. It's not HGH, but it's like a muscle growth hormone. And then there's a fat burner in it. And then there's another component inside of it that helps heal like soft tissue injury. So sort of from the inside out. So like my arm's been bugging me a lot from softball and different stupid things. So I played last night. I'm rarely sore anymore, especially when I go to the gym and like I lift heavy. I'm not necessarily sore the next day. So like, for example, on Sunday, I decided like one of my goals for lifting was deadlifts. I was like, that's a good overall exercise. Like I'm going to just go nuts and see where it can take me. So Sunday I was just like, I'm just going to keep going and see where I stop. So I got to 400. I did 400 like way easier than I thought it was going to be. And I was like, you know what? So I did it and I'm standing there and I was like, is anybody watching me? It was like Sunday morning at like 7 a.m. I was like, does anybody notice that I just did 400 pounds? So I was all pumped. I was like, I think that's good enough. I didn't want to like keep going. I wasn't sore the next day. So
Wow.
it's been weird to get into this world, but I found this group on Facebook that's just about like human optimization, and it's for sure peptides. And to be honest, a lot of people focus these peptides on their animals, like their pets. It's so weird, but there's some really good information on there. Yeah. Because the peptides are naturally, most of them are found inside of your body in your intestines. It's
what I
nuts,
told
dude. Yeah.
Sorry, I had to make a comment. I just you softballed it,
Yeah.
lobbed it up there.
Okay, I'm done.
Smack.
I took like 30 minutes, so I apologize.
Oh no, this is good stuff. I mean, I'll clip this anyway. This will be its own episode.
Nice.
Because it's good stuff. I mean, like we're talking about overall, right? It's like what can you do and choices you can make that just.
Yeah.
I think we all have those times. Besides when we drink and you're hungover, it's like Ryan hasn't hit it. You know, Ryan's in his early 30s. I'm my last year. I got my last 6 months in my 30s right now, and Andy's 42. It's like older you get, the more you feel like shit all the damn time. Like so, anything.
Pretty soon we're
tired of
gonna
that.
have to change this from slightly average to above average, slightly above average.
It's like, have you seen those TikToks where it's like Kermit the Frog and he's like chatting with people and then he's like, "What do you think of this?" And he-
They holds up the cucumber.
yeah.
Like, I just feel like we should do that, but with a different character, like Grimace or something.
Oh, yeah, just
Well, because there's an Elmo guy already.
eggplant.
Actual
You gotta
eggplant
do like the
under-
guy, the Cookie Monster or something,
Oh yeah. What would be big and blue?
or Oscar or the Grouch. Doesn't he sit in the trash can?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he sits in the trash can. Yeah,
Yeah.
you could have
I
like
mean-
trash all up in his pubes.
Cookie Monster. You could just do like a sleeve of like Chips Ahoy or something, right?
Or just get out cookie dough and it's
Yeah, just cookie dough. There it is. Yes.
Yeah. What do you think about that? What do you think
we
about
need to
that?
start that.
What do you think about that, guys?
It's cream filled. You don't feel my chocolate chips.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Oh, with that, we appreciate everybody joining us. We hope you liked it.
Awesome.
You can always join us live. We do it live the second Wednesday of every single month. Live on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook sometimes when it doesn't want to ban me. So
Mhm.
appreciate everybody, and we will see you guys next week.